Let's show you the most recent Hart history. Back to Survivor Series. Boom! Right there hits brother Bret into the metal gating. And Owen is pinned. 1, 2, 3. There's out. Rips Bret down from the ropes and has a physical and verbal.
Living in,
Go on, Vince.
how do I say it delicately?
The shadow. Go on, say it. The shadow. You and me, face to face, one-on-one. I'm challenging you, Bret, my brother, to a fight.
See any kind of a controversial fight. A great fight is a great fight. People thrive on that. I ever, absolutely, positively not ever step in the ring with my own brother.
I knew this was tearing up the family, and I knew that Owen and I had to sit down and we had to resolve this thing. We are going to win the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles as a unit.
The rocket is going to be taken off, and I'm going to have my brother Bret there right behind me. Rocket, and for the Hitman, too.
Hey, take it easy.
The Shadow, Owen Hart. I think Bret Hart is, and could this be the three-peat? There's a man who's been the World Wrestling Federation champion twice, tag team champion.
And there's the lucky young man. Ah, look at that.
Well, we're going to find out what kind of a team they are right now. You didn't mention that Bret Hart also likes to hog the limelight more than anybody else.
Pocket Owen Hart anymore. Now, oh my! Here they come. The Hart now. Look at that. Yes, here comes the rocket. Underneath this time, the close line. Look at that. Come on, drop kick. And trying to make his way in. Yes, the tag was made.
Like a low blow.
Snaps it right back. Wait a minute, there's Johnny Polo. Johnny Polo. Oh no! Bret Hart went through the ropes, and unfortunately for him, went right into the rope as Bret went. Oh no, no!
Just giving the Quebecers an opportunity to double up on Hart.
Oh, come on! This is absurd! I can't believe it!
Now tell me, McMahon.
This is ridiculous!
Take much more of that.
Now Bret should make the tag. And the tag, Bret! Now make the tag! Bret, make the tag!
Hogging the limelight again.
Limelight? Wait a minute, Bret just collapsed. Bret just had the sharpshooter on Pierre. Bret himself collapsed.
He had the opportunity to tag and he didn't do it.
The official has elected to end this match. Tag team champions, the Quebecers.
He should be more angry with the Quebecers.
Angry at the Quebecers. He should be angry at his brother. What did I tell you? That's right, Owen. That's right, you're right. He should have tagged you.
But I don't think Bret deserves this. Owen Hart appears to be giving his brother a tongue lashing.
But Owen is obviously right in being mad at his brother. One more time. It's obvious to me that Owen Hart is finally... He is finally waking up to the fact that he's not going to stand in the shadow of Big Brother anymore.
To do is tag me, but he's too selfish to worry about me. He just worries about himself. Just tag me, Bret. But you're too damn selfish.
I can't believe those remarks.
This is the Pro Wrestling Spotlight, presented by HAMIN Media and the Pro Wrasslin Reflection, where we discuss the very best of the best in pro wrestling history.
And what's it gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
The two soundest wrestlers in the World Wrestling Federation, maybe in the history of the World Wrestling Federation, are right here, right now. Mr. Perfect and the excellence of execution, the Hitman.
WrestleMania weekend isn't complete without the Heartbreak Kid, and he is on his way.
He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family.
They think they got the answers. I change the question.
You will rest in peace.
Get used to it in Ric Flair. Who you're looking at, the man.
This man! What the
What is going on there, Reflection Knights? What is going on there to the Vita Whites, the HAMIN Knights, and the probationary solitary confinement PWCites? And newsflash, TW, what is going on to the 139? Yes, that's right, 139 Reflection Night subscribers on the Professor's YouTube channel. Again, it's the YouTube channel that could. I'm not buying bots. I'm not buying subscribers. If you like the content, and 139 of you do, TW, you know, we've always had the Magnificent Seven, the Elite Eight, the Naughty Nine. You're gonna have to make up some numbers, man. We're up to 139. We need a like a catchphrase for that, or at least to 140. What are we gonna call them?
We're gonna call them.
Well, I put you on
we got to
spot.
get up to the 300, so we can call them the 300.
Oh Jesus, that's too easy, man. Well, you gotta crawl before we can walk, and walk before we can fly. That number is, you know, is so far away. But you know what? The funny thing, Reflectionites, and God bless the 139 subscribers, and God bless the future subscribers. But again, it's, you know, I see other YouTube channels, you know, they're popping off with 1,000 subscribers. Some of y'all motherfuckers, you know who you are. You buy those subscribers. You know, I see people with 100 million subscribers, like Mr. Beast or something like that. PewDiePie with 35 million subscribers. You know what? It's funny, TW. 35 million subscribers, but yet they get 100,000 views. The math ain't mathing. But again, neither here nor there.
Something clever?
What's clever?
I'm pretty sure Dominic Hasek was traded to Detroit for Slava Kozlov. But I'm not positive. But either way, both of them were Red Wings and Buffalo Sabres. And if you look at our 139, 13 is Slava Kozlov, 39 is Dominic Hasek.
Oh my God, the numbers. Play the numbers game right there. It's magical right now. But anyway, welcome to the well, you know, it goes back, it's like 6-7, you know, Dominic Hasek and then Slava Kozlov. But again, welcome to the PWR podcast here at the HAMIN Media Group at Pod.
Your nickname at the Hammer Down bar is Slava Knob Off. Remember that when they called you that?
You were the one before recording said, I'm eating some meat sausage. I ain't saying nothing. But again, we got it on tape. And, you know, and by the way, Josh, shout out to you. You try to help out TW with last week's episode, but it's okay. I still love you, Josh, but you try to help out TW. But neither here nor there. Do you want to, Josh, you want me to admit that I was wrong? Of course, I'm transparent.
Oh, talking about the shit you said you didn't say?
Yeah, I admit it. But again, Josh did it for you. He got the evidence. But you didn't look at it. That's what I love about it. You didn't even look at the evidence. He did it for you.
Is it on Twitter?
Say what?
Is it on Twitter?
No, it's on my YouTube.
Oh, well, I gotta go there. I gotta go to the YouTube. When we're done here, I got a couple group texts. I'm gonna send a link to all of them and send. I don't give a shit if you watch it. Follow. Just follow the page.
That's all.
We're gonna go from 130 to 150 by this time next week.
I hope so. So let's see. Let's get up to 150 reflections. But anyway, welcome to the PWR podcast at the HAMIN Media Group at podbean.com and at the Pro Wrasslin Reflection YouTube channel. And welcome to a Spotlight edition, greatest heel turns edition of the Pro Wrestling Spotlight. But before we get into that, I must introduce myself because I'm vain like that. I must introduce myself so I can feel younger because, again, arthritis, sciatica, all that shit, the knees hurting, the elbows are hurting, the shoulders hurting, you know, all that stuff. You know, Father Time is a bitch. But anyway, I'm the studious one, I'm the charismatic one, but most importantly, I am the glorious one, the only objective man, and goddammit, you need an objective man out there in this IWC, YWC, PWC, punditry, the only objective man in this political hemisphere, the only objective man in this Twitterverse, your friend and mine, the Professor Chabel Belcoon. And I'm not here alone, no. I'm here with my brother for another mother, the conservative liberal, the liberal conservative, the solo idiot, Dr. Freaking Stein, and spitting up some man juices into that cup like he's a boxer and whatnot. And also, he's the undisputed, undeniable, universal Detroit Rock City heavyweight champion of the world. Dude. Yeah, too far away. I tried. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing, man. I got jet lag, and I was smart enough to take a day off before going back to work after my little quick 4-day vacation. Well, I guess it would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5-day vacation. But I worked Wednesday and then went to the airport, and then my trip was about 9 hours.
The worst thing to do is work and then try to go to the airport. You got to take a day off.
It was that or go late Thursday and miss a whole day there. So I'd rather just go suck it all up in one day. But yesterday was a long day without working. But I lost 3 hours. I lost an hour. I would have never thought Arizona and California were different time zones.
They're about an hour difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phoenix. It's probably parts of Arizona aren't. No, you know, my buddy's wife told me Arizona doesn't change. They don't fall back. So sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different.
Right.
Because Vegas is 3 hours. Travis in North Dakota is 2 hours. But a surprise for you, and a surprise for Big Ray, and a pretty joyous moment for myself.
Okay.
So as you know, I got a couple Canadian buddies that use my address to buy stuff in the U.S. so they don't get it shipped to Canada, where the customs will destroy the box. So I just opened these right before we signed on. Little Velcro.
Oh, that's nice.
He got her so he could have the belt.
Which belt is that? Is that the tag team belt or the ladies?
The woman's Intercontinental.
Oh, okay.
Although it does look like the tag belt. But more importantly, and it's the first time in the line, and I thought, first time ever in action figure form, that I was informed by Jeff that these two young men had figures when they were in TNA, and I did not know this. But what they had now is two of the absolute most beautiful action figures ever, and very spot on to their likenesses.
I thought I had it in my head. I thought you were gonna say the Motor City Machine Guns once. It was
two guys that I have wrestled more than once. Two guys that I've known since they started in the business. Two guys that are well, I don't know about Saban because I don't see him as much, but Alex Shelley is absolutely the same guy today that he was 20 years ago when I first met him. And Saban has always been kind of a recluse, but both of them awesome to me whenever they see me. They're also in a band and they play gigs around here a lot. One of these days I'm going to make it to one. And it's cool to see their figures. They're not mine. I'm absolutely getting those. I'm waiting until I see them in the store because the thrill of the hunt. He pre-ordered these from Ringside Collectibles. That's cheating in my opinion.
So wait, you're opening other people's stuff and you're messing up the quality with breathing air, right?
One of them only opens. He doesn't keep anything in package.
Oh, okay. Just checking. I'm not saying I'm blaming him.
So I opened them because I wanted to check them out. Normally I'll just have him come get them and he takes them with him. But lately, because of Jeff fighting cancer, he grabs Jeff's stuff too. And the last couple times he's grabbed a ton of stuff for Jeff, which I have a book here for Jeff's dad. But when they go from US to Canada, customs will cut them open with box knives to see what's in the box, and they'll cut and damage the book. They did that to Jeff's Funko Pop. They cut it, and the value immediately plummeted because it has a knife across the box, the plastic.
You know, I would say, Reflectionites, what your friend's got to do is when he comes to you, he needs one of those visible glass cases, just where they can see the shit. So
no. When he comes to me, they're already open, and they're just in a box that's open.
No, but he's got to close it. He's going to close the box, and you can't see what the shit is in.
No. You're not understanding me. The box that the toy is in, he doesn't care about.
Okay.
It's the box that they're all in. When they cut that is when they end up damaging the stuff that's in the box.
Yeah, it's damaging the value. That's why I say put all that in a see-through case, so this way when custom sees it, They don't have to do anything but just look at the case.
Oh, well, he would have to do that. He'd have to have Target and Walmart and eBay people put it in a case like that. They don't. They put it in a regular ass box.
Just saying, but we live and learn. But anyway,
but when he takes them over, they're all out of the box, so they can look at them all individually, and they don't cut them open because they see it's a toy.
All right, so you know what? Welcome to the Ringside Collectibles Podcast here at the PWR Podcast at HAMIN Media Group at PodBeam.com.
I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm gonna reach out to them and see if we can get a 10% off code, so that if Tian or Couponer and Mooch and Donnie, if anybody buys figures from Ringside and they use the Pro Wrasslin Reflection 10% off, I think we get a kickback.
There you go.
But they would also get 10% off. I use Kyle from Kyle Peterson Show's coupon.
And just remember, TW, your responsibility for that, it means with the outros, you have to plug the sponsors. So with that being said,
I'm going to reach out to
them. Do that, and let's get on with the show. It is a greatest heel turns edition, TW, and we're going back because it is January, TW. It is Royal Rumble season, so I figured we go all the way back to 1994 and talk about the Royal Rumble of 1994, but with that being said, Reflectionites, we are going to talk about the greatest heel turn, maybe of the mid-90s to a degree, because, we've done some stuff in the early 90s and mid-90s of heel turns. But, TW, this one is a little bit different because this is a very relatable heel turn. And the reason I say that is because everybody within a family dynamic, TW, you know how it is, whether it's a younger brother to an older brother, a younger sister to an older sister, cousins, having envy to other cousins, aunts and uncles having envy between, distant relatives and shit like that. We are going to focus on younger brother Owen Hart turning on older brother Bret Hart at the Royal Rumble, TW. But before we even get into that, like I said, what makes this heel turn very intriguing and very memorable is, like I said, it's very relatable. Vince McMahon tapped into something that you and I know has happened in real life, whether you knew somebody or whether you experienced it. Everybody has that family dynamic, like I said, jealousy, envy, and shit like that. Like I said, with siblings, older brother, younger brother, older sister, younger sister, and shit like that, TW. Do you feel the same way that the professor feels with how Vince McMahon wanted to tap into something relatable? Because again, when we talk about the mid-90s, all those I want to call it like salacious talk shows, the Jerry Springers, the Ricky Legs, the Richard Bays, the Maury Povages. If it wasn't about pregnancy, it was about cheating, it was about family squabbles and all that shit. So that's why I'm saying Vince McMahon tapped into something like that because, again, just like you said last week, Southern wrestling with tag team wrestlers, they betray each other all the time, but they weren't related sometimes. This is a relatable family dynamic. What's the ATW about that?
It's perfect. And it's funny because this little run between these two, they also involve other people, little Easter eggs for people who might not know at the time, which I don't know how they wouldn't know when their names is the same, but they do stuff, and it's so well done by Owen specifically, but also by Bret. The interviews look real, like Bret's really like, come on, man, why are we talking about my little brother, right? Like, and having been the middle brother, I know it's funny because you don't realize you're doing the same thing your oldest brother's doing to you when you do it to your little brother, but it's just the hierarchy or whatever you call it, the patriarchy, where I'm trying to hang out with my brother's friends and he don't want me around. And then I'm doing the same thing to my little brother, like, get out of here. Because almost like, for me, it felt like my little brother was embarrassing me. Like, that's my brother, ignore him, And I'm sure that's what my older brother thought about me too. But we weren't exactly into sports in my house. We grew up in Detroit, and there were no organized sports in elementary or middle school. They didn't start till high school, and I didn't go for high school. But yeah, this is a dynamic that I'm surprised. Really, I can't. Maybe the Gilberts, Eddie and Doug, maybe had a little rivalry, but other than that, pretty much all the brothers never ever feuded. The Steiners kind of did, but not really. Like a week after Scott turned on him, Rex in the NWO suit. So what?
No, to answer your question, like this with Bret and Owen was kind of like the first kind of family squabble or family turn to a degree, because like you said, even before that, the Von Erichs never turn on each other. And you could say, like you said, the Steiner brothers were tag team, hierarchy.
Ronnie and Jimmy Garvin had a little something, right? But they're really
never did. They actually that was the story because they respected each other's past. Ron, as long as they never like interfere with each other, Ron was the good guy initially, and Jimmy Garvin was what he was, the badass and the prick. But once Ronnie Garvin got the fireball thrown to his head, it was Ronnie. Yeah, it was Jimmy that actually like felt, turned his ways and just wanted to help his brother and shit like that. Help family, you know what I mean? But again, this was like the first family dynamic. By the time the Steiners did the shit in '98, that's Monday Night War's ratings winner. That was a ratings war battle. So it was a little bit of different nuance. But I get what you're saying.
But it didn't last long, I'm saying. They're both in the NWO.
No, but they were milking it to a degree. So that's what it was. They were telling that kind of story. But let's go back, like I said, because again, what Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard did and Reflectionites, again, it's so predictable, but it's so relatable. And that's why I'm just saying, because again, just like TW talked about with his family dynamics, I'm the younger brother, my older brother, we're 5 years apart, TW. So with that, I hear what you're saying, but my brother was never embarrassed with me hanging out with his older friends because he actually felt like he was protecting me. So, I got the perks of hanging out with the older crowd, but he took on the mantle of being my protector. So nothing would happen to me. So I got the best of both worlds. So, there's no family squad.
That's how you feel about dudes and girls.
Where the hell you get that kind of thing? What the hell? That is.
Remember you told me, remember when I came to New Jersey and we hung out that night and you're like, look, man, you got a 50% chance of getting laid in here because you spent all night hitting on these girls. And I was like, yeah, why is it 50%? You go, because I have a 100% chance of getting laid tonight. Because at the end of the night, if none of these girls bite, I'm gonna go home with one of these dudes. And I was like, wow, that's good logic if you're into that.
Whatever liquor you was drinking when we were hanging out that night, you heard what you wanted to hear.
Corona,
but anyway,
you were drinking Coronas.
I know, I didn't hear nothing. You heard all this shit. But anyway,
because you said it.
I never said shit. But anyway, neither here nor there. Jeff would know that. He knows I didn't say nothing. Ray knows I didn't say nothing.
Jeremy, not Jeremy.
I know you don't want to say. See, I'm wrong, but
you pulled me aside and said it. Because those two are married. You were like, come on, man.
You pulled aside a different Puerto Rican, not me. We just had the same dynamic. That's what it was. But
let's go for these two dudes right there. And I'm like, no, man. No, I'm good.
Again, Reflectionize. This man drank a lot of Coronas that night. But let's get back into the show. And like I said, the family dynamic, like I said, is so relatable. But let's talk about where it started. It actually did not start at the Royal Rumble, TW. It started at the Survivor Series, 1993, where the Hart family, Reflectionites, was defending the honor of, the patriarchs, Stu and Helen Hart. It was Bret, it was Owen, it was Stu. No, I mean, it was not Stu. It was Bruce, and I think it was Keith Hart against. It was supposed to be Jerry the King Lawler and his minions, but because of Jerry the King Lawler had a sexual harassment scandal, he had to take some time off.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was. Because I think it was alleged that he raped 17-year-olds in Memphis. So I remember that story vividly. But they had to pull an alternate, so that's where Shawn Michaels comes in.
I didn't even know you were 17 in '94.
I was, yeah.
Did he get convicted, or are you still mad about it?
He did not assault me because I wasn't in Memphis, Tennessee, motherfucker. But anyway, Shawn was the alternate. Yeah, Shawn was the alternate TW. But again, because that was not the story. That story was coming to an end. We knew that. That was the payoff. The Harts were going to get their revenge. Technically, it was supposed to be on Jerry Lawler and his minions, but Shawn Michaels took the bullet and all that stuff. But within that dynamic, the only Hart that got eliminated, Reflectionites, was Owen Hart. And TW, again, masterful storytelling from Vince McMahon and masterful storytelling by both Bret Hart and Owen Hart. Why don't you explain to the Reflectionites how masterful that they did the little nuances, even though, like I said, it's so predictable, but you got to execute it so well.
Dude, it's so well done because it's so well done that I forgot. So when I saw it again, watching it back, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that he was the only one. So here's the beauty of Owen. I'm pretty sure he's the youngest kid, at least the youngest boy.
Mm-hmm.
So Keith and Bruce are older than him. Keith and Bruce, I don't know so much as Keith, but Bruce used to team with Brian Pillman's Bad Company. And so he was above him. All these guys had spots above him in Calgary or whatever, but only Bret and Owen made it to WWE. Well, until this night, because both of those guys got to wrestle, which is awesome. And all the other brothers were in the audience with the parents. It was very, very cool. But Owen, not only is he the only one who gets beat, but it's because Bret moved out of the corner selling that they collided and Shawn rolled him up. So he can blame Bret because Bret shouldn't have been there. He wouldn't have hit him.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite part is he's only mad at Bret. Bret's not even the oldest brother. The oldest brother is Keith. Well, they're both older than Bret, Bruce and Keith. But he's not even mad at them, which is basically saying, fuck you guys, I'm better than you. This is the asshole right here, right? So it's perfect because the whole time he's calling Bret selfish. He's saying Bret is jealous of him, but really it's him who's selfish and it's him who's jealous of Bret because he has absolutely no reason to be jealous of Bruce and Keith and isn't. And he's not blaming them for doing the same things Bret is doing according to him. Very well done.
You know, it's funny you say that because let me ask you this, and it's hypothetical because, again, I don't even think it would pop with the fans. It wouldn't pop with you, and it doesn't even pop with the professor. But if you replace that spot with Bret Hart with what you said, let's say Keith Hart or Bruce Hart did the same shit, the dynamic wouldn't even work with us. We wouldn't care because Bruce and Keith, because Bruce and Keith were one-timers right there. They were not going to wrestle.
15 minutes right here.
That was their 15 minutes of fame. So it had to be Bret. And what Bret represented, especially by the time it was 1993 TW, was already a world heavyweight champion. He was like a Grand Slam champion. So his resume was already filled with accomplishments that Owen Hart never even achieved himself in the WWE at that time. And the one thing, like you said, with the jealousy and the envy, let's remember this. The Rocket Owen Hart, the Blue Blazer, he was, I don't want to say nothing to disrespect the dearly departed Owen Hart, was a serviceable hand. He wasn't relevant. And in terms of hierarchy with his brother, Bret Hart was at the top of the mountain and Owen Hart was maybe on the foothills or even lower than that. Do you agree with that assessment?
He's the white mascot of the Nation of Domination because he's the white guy with the broom on the Malcolm and Eddie show.
Well, he was called a little nugget though, so I'm just letting you know.
And he was Yokozuna's fall guy when they were tag champs together, like Haku was Andre's. Him and Coco Beware.
I
don't even remember. What was first, High Energy or the New Foundation?
New Foundation was first, and High Energy took over.
Well, thank God, because High Energy is better than New Foundation. But the way that I'm looking at the Neidhart figure over there, they dress like taxi cab drivers. It was terrible. But the Blue Blazer was gold, especially during the Attitude Era, because the original Blue Blazer was supposed to be like another try at making Hulk Hogan, Say Your Prayer, this inspirational cartoon character. And then sadly, they go back to it because they realize in a Kurt Angle type way, before Kurt Angle, if he's the same guy, but he's a heel in that time in the wrestling business, and he absolutely, as Owen Hart, not as the Blue Blazer, because everyone knew it was him, he absolutely would have been a world champion if he hadn't died.
Yeah, that's one of those big.
This feud is what changed his trajectory, if you will.
It made him from irrelevant, the runt of the Owen Hart, of the Hart family litter, to almost equal ties with Bret Hart. So that helped him immensely. And we'll talk about that a little bit in a couple of minutes, TW. But let me ask you this other hypothetical question with Survivor Series. Now, he pushes him a little bit. Again, like you said, he's mad at him. He's the only Hart. And he feels, number one, he feels embarrassed because he's the only one that took the L. Number two, he's mad at Bret, like you said. But the hypothetical is, would you have ignited the heel turn, maybe slapping him in the face, pushing him from behind that Bret falls, that he wasn't prepared for it, or taking a chop block, or just fucking just beat him down, and the brothers are trying to get him off, but with a fit of rage, he's just too strong for them. What say you, TW?
The other brothers be involved, or
no, to try to get him away, but he just pushes him away and still beats the shit out of Bret Hart.
He didn't do it as Survivor though, right?
No, he just got mad and just got in his face. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he slapped him in the face or knocked him down or beat the shit out of him?
I don't like it. I think they did it perfect because that's the genesis of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the start of it, and if you do that, you've already tipped the hat. Because we go from here where Owen's so mad and he challenges Bret. He's basically being a spoiled brat. Right, the baby brother, and he's like, because his mom probably was like, you get both titties because you're last baby, right? So, but then they rekindle their, and he hasn't done anything to Bret for Bret to be mad. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. But
if he slaps Bret, he's now disrespected Bret on national television. Bret has to do it, otherwise Bret looks like a bitch.
I hear you. I just said it like I said, it was just more hypothetical. But again, I agree with you because it would have been too soon, and then you kind of ruined the story if you're just trying to maybe answer, settle this maybe as a payoff for Monday Night Raw or something shit like that. It wouldn't have worked from us because again, the dynamics. It was a year-long storytelling. But again, we'll get into that. But what you just said in your hyperbole, we have to expound on it because again. The sit-down interview, Reflectionites, still very, very telling, and me and TW agree. It's still predictable. We know where this is going, but it has to be said first because he has that sit-down interview with Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon was actually feeding the shit down. He was actually goading Owen. He wanted. It was like he was like
and Bret. He was almost heelish with Bret's hand. Don't you think you could give him some encouragement?
That too. I'm just saying. But the interviews with the one-on-one interview with Vince and Owen, and maybe even Vince and Bret, Vince McMahon was feeding the fire, if you will, TW, into this. But the interview with Owen, Vince was really trying to egg him on, and Owen took the bait. And the reason I say that is because Owen's responses to a lot of things is, I want to challenge Bret to a fight. I want to prove to Bret that I'm the better brother. I'm the hierarchy of the Hart family, all that stuff. It should be me. It should be me at the top of the mountain. It should be me with all these accolades. It should be me as the top contender. Or I would be a long-standing world heavyweight champion, not like you, Bret, and all that stuff. What's the ETW about the interviews? Because that's really
I like the interview because in the interview, again, he didn't slap Bret. He threw a tantrum, but in the interview, he looks calm, collected, and says, listen, I just challenge you to a fight. I want everyone to know what I already know. I'm better than you, Bret. But he doesn't do it cocky. He does it like, look, man, let's stop talking. Let's stop being mad. Let's just wrestle. And Bret's like, nah, bitch, which makes it worse because now it looks like you won't even give me a chance to prove myself, right? So I like it.
Wait. Before you go on, the response from Bret. Now we have to remember this. Remember, like years preceding this, Bret is taking the responsibility with the turn, just like Hulk Hogan, right? You and I have done multiple Hulk Hogan turn spotlights, episodes, and we talk about things that happened. And we've said it. Hulk Hogan deserved to be turned on because of the way he carried himself. Sometimes it was a little bit arrogant with Paul Orndorff. Sometimes it was a little bit selfish with Andre the Giant at WrestleMania time and all that stuff. So, and of course, Sid Vicious, Hulk Hogan definitely deserved that turn because he took Sid Justice's fucking main event spot at WrestleMania and the world title spot. But again, neither here nor there, Reflection. But I'm just giving you the logistics. Bret Hart was trying his best not to do the Hulk Hogan kind of arrogant heroisms. I'm trying to say this right. He was trying to be the more mature older brother and and he was trying to be humble with it. He understood Owen's frustrations, Reflectionites. He understood that Owen is motivated and wants to be at the top of his game. But he felt, being the older brother, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to feed that flame. I'm not going to feed into that fire. I can't do it. I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, but under no circumstances. And I think he said, even for my mother, I'm not going to fight my baby brother Owen and stuff like that. He was trying to be good, but I'm trying to put the parallel, TW, because again, Hulk Hogan deserved it. Do you think Bret Hart was trying to do the same thing? A little arrogant, a little he was trying to dismiss it, or he was trying to be humble and very.
He wasn't dismissing it at all. He even said when Vince was like, was he a better athlete than you? Was he smarter than you? And he's like, look, dude, what do you want me to go pull out all the damn report cards? He's like, whatever. What's it matter? He's saying it's not necessary that whatever success Owen has, whatever success Bret has, it shines a positive light on the Hart family. They're second generation wrestlers. Teddy Hart fucking ruined it in the third generation. But Natty's doing all right. Julia Hart. Is Julia Hart a Hart?
I don't think so. I know okay. Natty is a Hart.
She's third generation.
Mm-hmm.
And then Teddy Hart. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Davey Boy's kid.
TJ Wilson, but he's retired.
Not that fucker. He's not his kid. Davey Boy Smith Jr., dude.
Oh, he's MLW, sometimes in and out, but I think he's in Japan.
I can't believe they haven't brought him back yet.
They tried to, but then they dismissed. They let him go again.
They should bring him. Cody should make a new legacy as a heel and have Davey Boy's brother in there, Pillman's kid, Davey Boy's brother, Davey Boy's kid, Pillman's kid. He could be the Randy Orton, and he can lead Lexus King and the other one.
I don't know if that's ratings gold, but again, neither here nor there. But I get what you're saying with that. But with the promos, Reflectionites, again, it was masterful work, and it was weeks of frustration on Owen's side, and it was weeks of humility on Bret's side, because then there was that one promo where Bret and Owen found a common bond, TW, and that was the WWF Tag Team Championships. And it was the Hart brothers wanting to challenge the Quebecers at the Royal Rumble. So, TW, what say you about at least, again, because it's all about the facials.
And that's what the dudes told me.
I knew you were gonna go with that shit. I know. I'm trying to give
the professor takes in the best, man. That's great.
See, the audio Reflectionites have got to get a vivid picture of something when I say something. But anyway, the facials of the promos, TW, heard that? The facials of the promos.
The facials of the homos. I got it. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, the promos with Owen and Bret together, TW, is still very paramount because, again, while they have a common bond for the tag team titles, and technically when I saw this in 94, I was like, wait a minute. Bret Hart's taking a step back. Even though this is his brother, he's already been an Intercontinental Champion. He's already been a heavyweight champion. I'm already thinking at 17 years old, this is a step back. It's like, wait, damn, you really are tough.
They explained it well. They explained it well.
Go ahead, TW. How did they explain it well?
Because Bret says, with all my accolades and all that, I'm dedicating the rest of my career and my time in the wrestling business to becoming tag team champion with my brother Owen. He wants to make sure Owen gets to taste the glory because he knows the tag title was his springboard to the IC title, to the world title. And he wants Owen to get that same shot.
You're saying that and explaining it beautifully, but I don't know if it registered with Owen. Because I think Owen's facial.
Owen shit on it immediately. He goes, yeah, maybe we'll get a chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because the facials for the promos, before TW says anything, because you got to look at Owen's face, Reflectionites, because he's trying to be like rah-rah with Bret Hart. But again, Bret Hart is actually jabbing little brother. This is where it goes. It's the little nuances It's so relatable, TW. This is what again, and I'm being the younger brother because younger brothers catch on with this. I know you're trying to help out me as the younger brother, but I feel you don't give me the full respect. That's the way younger brothers will feel like that. Do you understand that, TW? Do you relate to that?
Like he's implying Owen couldn't do it on his own. He needs Bret to do it.
He's doing a whole.
But here's one thing you're missing. So we gotta go back a little bit.
Okay.
We got a ludicrous. Take that and rewind it back. Mm-hmm. All the promos after they made amends, and now they're going after the Rougeau or the Quebecers. All of them. Owen does the best babyface interviews ever. Just like, yeah, the rocket's to the moon, and the Hitman's gonna be on that rocket, and we're going straight to the top. Blah 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 blah. It wasn't until Marty and the 1-2-3 Kid upset the Quebecers a week before the Royal Rumble, so now they're not getting their title shot because. Mm-hmm. And now Owen's bummed out, and Bret's like, fuck it, we'll get it from the Kid in Marty. They respect us enough. They'll give us shots. Blah 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 blah. Then they do the live interview where they say, "Hey, tonight Monday Night Raw, the rematch clause. Who you pulling for?" And then Owen goes, Marty and 1-2-3 Kid are okay, but I want the Quebecers to win because I want my title shot on Sunday. And then Bret goes, listen, man, there is not a scenario in this world where I'm ever going to root on the Quebecers. So, Marty, 1-2-3 Kid, I'm pulling for them. And I think those guys are stand-up guys. They're great champions. And when the time is right, they'll give us a tag title shot. And Owen gives them the stink face. Like, what's that guy's name? Tyler, the Creator? What's that video? Sag Harbor?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what the only thing I would have done different here, is the clip you sent me. I don't know how the Quebecers won the tag belts back, which I thought was an awesome swerve because it makes you feel like, oh, they're going to win for sure, but it's not going to be for the belts. But now it's for the belts again. They said Scotty Polo pulled something to get the belts back. What I would have done is I would have had Owen cost Marty and 1-2-3 Kid the belts because he wants to make sure it's a tag title match for him and Bret. I would have done that.
Like he was beating up Johnny Polo, and then during the fracas, he costs Marty and the Kid the titles.
That is how it happened?
Probably. I don't think Owen was involved with it. I think it was just the Johnny Polo.
I would have had Owen be the reason the Quebecers won the belts back.
Yeah, Owen was trying to save, quote unquote, TW, trying to save Marty and 1-2-3 Kid's, reign, trying to beat down Johnny Polo and maybe beat down the Quebecers. But then
maybe he hits Johnny Polo and his cane lands in the Quebecers' hands. And
there you go. It's accidental, quote unquote, and then he costs it. I think that would have been a better way, but I think it was Johnny Polo's only interference. There was no interference. The Hart brothers were not involved in any way, shape, or form, if memory serves me correct. But I think your way would have been 10 times better because then Bret could give him not a stink face.
Like, man, what did you do? Did you do that on purpose? What did you do?
Yeah, the face of bewilderment and all that stuff. So with that being said, now we go to the Piece de Resistance, TW, and that's Royal Rumble 94. And Bret Hart was actually pulling double duty that night because, again, he's doing this for his baby brother Owen, but also he has a shot. He's one of the 30 in the Royal Rumble.
So was Owen.
I don't think Owen was in the.
No, they both were in there because Stan Lane and Crush and everybody kept talking about how. Notice they don't keep talking about they're both in the Rumble and they might have to fight each other whether they like it or not.
Oh, okay. So thank you for correcting me on that. But I just remember Bret was pulling double duty because of the ending of that one. But anyway, neither here nor there. But we know during this match against the Quebecers, Reflection Ice, Owen was gung-ho. He wanted to do by any means necessary to become the tag team champions. But TW, they were telling some great story. There was some great storytelling, the art of selling, and Bret Hart was selling the leg because of what Johnny Polo did. I think he pulled the ropes down. Bret Hart went through the ropes, and then he was selling the leg. But then the Hulk Hogan syndrome gets into Bret Hart's head, and then he forgets to do one thing: tag his baby brother. TW, what again? The shit that Hulk Hogan does, we say that he deserved to get his ass beat. He deserved to get turned on. Bret Hart is doing the little nuances of Hulk Hogan. Do you agree with that, or you have a different take?
No, because he's selling the pain so much that he's in a state of delirium, and he doesn't even realize he's in a tag match because he's so used to being a singles wrestler, he forgets the option of tagging out.
You're trying to defend Bret Hart so much, or maybe you're defending the older brother too much. Maybe I'm giving a little bit of praise to the younger brother. Again, the younger brother is feeling shafted, TW. Look at it. His hand is out there. He wants the tag. He needs the tag. But Bret Hart is trying to glory hog. He's being a glory hog. Let's not get it twisted, Reflection Night. He's being a glory hog. He's trying to get all the credit and trying to get the titles himself for his brother. But he forgets that his brother is athletically gifted. He's athletically sound. He can take on the Quebecers with one hand tied behind his back. Again, I'm defending the younger brothers here all over the world. But neither here nor there. So, TW, what say you about the ending of the match? You agree with the way they did it?
I personally, especially since Bret goes on to win the Royal Rumble, I'm pretty sure.
Well, remember, it was a tie between Hart
and Lex, so he still fucking won it. Co-winner. I would have had Bret lose. I would have had him not, you know what I mean? Like, or have the Quebecers have him in it. Like, remember how Austin lost to Bret at WrestleMania 13?
Yeah,
I would have had Bret lose. Out. Something like that, where they actually just lost. It puts great heat on the Quebecers. It makes Owen even madder at Bret, because not only, like, the referee stopping the match is so dumb, because they could have done that in every match every fucking time, but they never do. But they do in Bret, and he's not even in a hold. He just kicked out. He kicked out, and they stopped the match after a kick out. It's like, come on, man. And so I don't like the finish.
I will defend WWE because, again, remember the time. It's 1994. Remember, the UFC wasn't kicking on. Maybe if this was 3 years later, 97, or during the Attitude Era, he would have got the tap out, or he would have got the pass out, or referee's discretion in a different light. I think they would have done the pass out, tap out, or something like that. But that's just me. Well, go ahead, TW. I'm sorry.
And also, we forgot about the interview that I talked about earlier, where Raymond Rougeau is interviewing the Quebecers, and Jacques is talking shit to his brother, saying brothers don't always get along, tongue in cheek to him, because half the people watching probably don't realize that's his brother. That was gold.
Of course, yeah. The nuances of brothers fighting, relatable, and again, every brother relates to this shit, whether it's a little family squabbles here and there. But again, you and I agree the way that they ended the match kind of sucked, but again, it was the times. It was 94.
But it was part of the story too.
Yeah, so. It was part of. But now it's gold. Now we see the true colors, quote unquote, of Owen Hart. TW, take over with this. Bring it home.
So, you know, from podcast past, Greatest Turns, I hate, like, to me, when Barry Windham turned on Lex Luger to join the Four Horsemen, it was terrible. Because Barry Windham beat the shit out of Tully and Arn the whole match and got his ass beat, only to turn at the end and join the Horsemen like he already planned on it. This match is the opposite. We all know Owen's going to turn on Bret soon enough, but we don't. And there might be winning the tag bells, and everything's going good. Owen's saving Bret when he's getting double teamed. Owen is getting double teamed. He's getting the shit kicked out and thrown on the guardrail. And when he turned on Bret, it had nothing to do with the Quebecers. He didn't hug him. He didn't high-five him. He turned on Bret because enough is enough. And it was the loss that made him turn, not everything else. That was just the straw that broke the camel's back. It's a beautifully done turn, especially now that they won the tag belts back the Monday before. I love how they did the promos on Superstars or Challenge in the morning before the night of Royal Rumble. So they kept saying tonight at the Royal Rumble. And you know the motherfuckers in Hershey Park, Pennsylvania going, motherfucker, it's December. What do you mean tonight the Royal Rumble?
It is. And the funny thing is, it wasn't a real beatdown. It was a kick to the leg. It was just the symbol.
It was insult to injury.
Right. It was insult to injury. He kicked him down. He's down, but it was more of a verbal lashing. It was years of frustration. It was years of, in his head, torment. It was years of like you're keeping me down, and I need to release all this pent up frustration. You agree with that assessment, or
absolutely? I agree 100%.
And again, Reflectionites, I have to keep harping on this, and TW will agree with this. If you're a younger brother, you might relate to this. If your older brother has a great reputation, just like Bret does, he has a stoic reputation. The credentials are so big. The shadow, and again, I think it was somebody said about the shadow. It was Owen. He talked about it in one of those promos. Yeah, say it, Vince. Try to beat the shadow of my brother, my older brother. Get out of the shadow.
And in that match, whoever was doing commentating at the Rumble was calling him the Shadow Owen Hart instead of the Rocket.
I think it was Vince McMahon and Ted DiBiase on commentary.
DiBiase. Yeah. DiBiase called him the Shadow.
Well, remember, I think DiBiase was trying to goad him into maybe wanting to join the corporation because he saw potential in Owen Hart, but Owen Hart, had other plans and he was more doing shit for himself. So with that being said, Reflectionites, again,
there is a promo or a match with Owen either against Mike Bell, which also Bret fought Mike Bell in that clip that you sent me. Jim Cornette was like, "Give me a call, Owen. I'll teach you."
We've been recording. Wait, hold on. We've been recording for almost an hour, Reflectionites, and this motherfucker is spitting. That cup should be full. Jesus Christ. Go ahead, TW.
I'm being quiet because you bitch about me eating on here all the time, so I gotta just be quiet.
Oh, it's either eating or now you're spitting. Go ahead.
Jim Cornette. Well, you know how to spit. But anyway, Jim Cornette said, "Give me a call, Owen. I'll show you, blah, blah, blah." And eventually he is with Cornette with Yokozuna and Fuji.
Yeah, he had to join somebody and somehow. So, with that being said, TW, before we kind of like close out, because there's really nothing left, because we could talk about, what it parlays to, because Owen got the match he wanted at WrestleMania 10, which is one of the best matches in WrestleMania history. Probably one of the top 5 best matches of WWF all time. I'm not saying it's number one.
Great finish.
And a great finish. So Owen Hart got the win over his older brother. Remember, Reflectionites, but the older brother got the glory because he got the title at WrestleMania 10. And
that's how WrestleMania ended. Was Owen standing on the ramp mad like, "You motherfucker."
Yeah, so everything always keeps coming back to older brother and younger brother in the dynamic of, you're better than me. I can't get out of the shadow. I need to do something to get out of your shadow. What more can I do? I beat you at WrestleMania at the biggest stage, and then you outshined me and all that stuff. So with that being said, TW, let's kind of like close it with a what if scenario, because I want to get your thinking cap on there. I'm putting you on the spot. But you said it, there were certain times. If he never died, he would have had a run with the title. You and I kind of agree with that. He would have had a run with the Winged Eagle belt. But I think the what if is he has to beat his brother. It has to be Owen beating Bret for the title. Do you agree with that, or no?
Because he already did. He beat Bret the night Bret won the title back. What you could do is have Owen beat the guy that Bret lost the belt to, and then Owen could run around going, "I beat the guy that beat you." And I'll
beat Yokozuna?
That's not how he lost to the second time.
No,
Shawn. He lost to Shawn.
Oh, you're talking about the second reign. Oh, okay. I'm just saying, like the first time he lost.
After all this, Owen beats him. He wins the belt back from Yokozuna.
Okay.
Luger gets fucked. And then he loses to Shawn the next time he loses it, I think. Or was it Backlund? It was Backlund. That would have been perfect. Have Owen beat Backlund instead of dumbass Diesel.
Oh, so
Owen's the reason the towel got thrown in because he begged his mom to do it. And then Owen beats Bob Backlund to become the champion. And he does it without beating Bret for it's ultimate heel heat.
Well, let me say it like this, because I think we have different philosophies on this, because if we prolong in the "I'm better than you" in the "I can beat the guy that you couldn't beat," yeah, I think it could run, because the first time he lost the title was WrestleMania 9 to Yoko. That's what I'm just saying. The second time he lost, it was to Backlund at Survivor Series 94. So if all the time he's trying to beat Yokozuna because you couldn't beat him, he's trying to, well, it wouldn't matter.
No. I'm talking about after he beats Bret and Bret wins the world title. He's mad because, fuck, what do I got to do? I beat you and I'm still not better than you. He cost him the title with the throw in the towel. Then 2 days later, he beats Bob Backlund for the title.
Oh, okay. Just take it away from Bob Backlund totally and just do whatever. Oh, he could betray Bob Backlund like I did you the favor, or you owe me a shot. You owe me I did you the favor. You owe me one back.
And now he's the champion, and Bret never lost to him. So now Bret's mad. Ha, I'm better than you. I'm the champ, and I beat you. And then Owen can go, I'm not fighting you. I wouldn't fight my brother under any circumstances. We already did that once, and I regret it. I'm never fighting my brother again. And then you have Bret win the Royal Rumble, and he has no choice but to fight him.
He could be a dick saying, I don't want to fight my brother at any circumstances. And he say it pompous, say it arrogantly, and all that stuff. Actually,
and they could have him thinking, and have a flashback of Bret going, I wouldn't fight my brother under any circumstances.
And you know what you could do with the Monday Night Raws, or maybe, you could do it for Monday Night Raws. You could have like maybe qualifying match, well, not qualifying, like fatal, like 3 ways or 4 ways, and Bret Hart's almost gonna get that shot even before the Royal Rumble, and Owen Hart costs him that shot and all that stuff. So you can build that shit. Kudos, TW. I actually like that shit. I think that has legs, if you will. I thought because in my head I wanted Owen to actually beat him for the belt. The only way
that would be good if it was the ultimate in 2 things. 1, turning him full babyface and reuniting them, because he cleanly beat Bret. Bret's proud of him. He's crying. He hugs him, and Owen's like, I did it. And now he's a good guy. Although we all know Owen is just classic heel.
Right, that's the thing. I actually would like him just to be a heel and then beat him and then hold the belt up in his face like, I did it, I beat you. You're nothing to me now. That's the way I kind of like want to grab.
He already beat him. That's my point. Like you gotta keep them away from each other. His whole anger at the end of WrestleMania 10 is that he beat Bret in the opening match.
He outshined him.
Bret's still the guy standing tall at the end of the show.
No, I got you. He outshined him. He took the shine from him. I got that. I'm just saying the only shine to get it back. But again, your way kind of works better. Was to beat Bret. That's the way I want him to outshine the shiner like that. So it goes both ways. So with that being said,
if he beats Bret for the belt after beating him before he won the belt, Bret just looks like a bitch. It looks like he just loses to Owen all the time. But if he beats someone else and says, I'm not fighting my brother, no, there's no way. Now he's ducking his brother because he wants his 1 win, kind of like Warrior did to Hogan.
I hear you. So with that being said, before we close, TW, not like a what if, but you and I kind of agree. Owen Hart, the Rocket Owen Hart, King Owen Hart, the little nugget, all that stuff, the Black Heart is so much of untapped potential that I don't think even the IWC can even appreciate it. Even the AEW sickos, even though Tony Khan is respecting Owen Hart and his family legacy with the Owen Hart tournament every year.
Do they do it still?
Yeah, they do it every year. It's the biggest tournament of the year for AEW. So.
I thought the fucking ring was that MJF finally didn't win it.
Owen Hart, because the winner gets the main event at their WrestleMania at All In, so they get the shot at the title. So it's bigger, but I don't think people can appreciate like you and I did the Blue Blazer, Rocket, the Iron, the Black Heart. What's give a closing thought of what people are missing out on?
The King of Hearts.
The King of
Hearts. He was the King of Hearts, 2-time Slammy Award winning King of Hearts. It's just absolute pure gold. Absolute. And the stuff post Bret getting the screw job always felt harsh for me because I felt like Owen was there because he had to be. Or this was his chance to really be out of his brother's shadow. But when everyone else leaves, Neidhart, Rude, when everyone's leaving because of what happens to Bret and Owen's there, and I kind of felt like you said, they called him Nugget. He almost felt like he was just a job guy to DX. And eventually he worked his way to being with Jeff Jarrett, and they did stuff, and it wasn't horrible. He hurt Austin, not on purpose. But that stuff with Bret, the 2-time Slammy Award-winning King of Hearts, that shit, and then the Blue Blazer at the end had legs, man. That thing was gonna go somewhere.
It looked like a rib though, TW. It wasn't the same Blue Blazer from the 80s. It looked like a caricature and a comedy.
Because he was a heel. He was being over the top so that people would hate it, not kids wouldn't love it.
But I don't think the fans resonated with it because I thought that they were thinking he was being jobbed out because of putting that mask on.
Dude,
I'm just saying.
The week before he died, he came coming in the middle of someone's match, cracking me up. I look at my ex-wife and go, dude, Owen's my favorite. He's my new favorite. And then he fucking dies 5 days later. And she looks at me and goes, Is that the guy you just told me is your new favorite? And I go, don't remind me, you motherfucker. Like I jinxed him or something. But he was taking lemons and turning them into lemonade.
Well, he always got people back with his ribs. He always got people back with his pranks. So again, he is dearly missed in the wrestling world, in the wrestling community, and people have.
Next year, even think 30 years that he died.
Yeah, and I don't think today's fans even.
Oh no, it was 99. It wasn't 97. Bret Hart got screwed in 97.
Yeah, Bret Hart got screwed in 99 with the loss of his brother too. So with that being said, we close on this Pro Wrestling Spotlight Greatest Heels Edition special with Owen Hart from Royal Rumble 94. So what are we going to do next week, TW? Actually, we're going to go into a different direction because I want to do not a heel turn, but I want to do a character kind of study with Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. When he was Mr. Anti-Hardcore in ECW, the Range Reflectionites, we're going to discuss how the Cactus Jack character grew in months' times in ECW. I'm going to show TW certain interviews, and TW will actually appreciate the Cactus Jack character and Mick Foley and the range he has. So, TW, are you ready for that?
Fucking hate that guy, but yeah, I'm ready for it.
Oh boy, it's not about politics; it's about the wrestling. But
he's
anyway,
a piece of shit. I hate him. Go ahead.
I know, but anyway, TW, give out those socials so we can get out of here.
All right, the Pro Wrestling Coalition Network sponsors us at PWC Network at podbean.com, as does HAMIN Media Group at podbean.com, are on X at PW Reflection. Travis, I mentioned him at Nuts and Bolts PW. Big Ray can be found all over the interwebs at Big Ray Hernandez. That's at Big Ray Hernandez. And every Wednesday, he's live with the Next Level podcast recapping NXT on YouTube, and every Tuesday, which he might have done it early this time because that Raw was at 2 in the afternoon today, so maybe he's doing it. But normally Tuesday he does the Raw recap live on YouTube. My X and Instagram are at TommyWonder19. Snapchat is #Wonder. Facebook.com/TommyWonder. And my other X and TikTok are at the Tommy Wonder. And you can find Big Vito and Noel at the Big Vito brand on TikTok. You don't stop.
And follow my Twitter at PWSOPROF. That's PWSOPROF. And follow the YouTube channel at Pro Wrasslin Reflection. YouTube.com/Pro Wrasslin Reflection. And I can't wait till next week, Reflectionites, because I want to see TW talking about Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, and all that stuff. You know, I'm so now I'm more excited. And I had this was not planned. I felt the fire from TW saying this.
Cactus Jack.
I can't wait till next week, Reflectionites. Stay tuned. And with that being said, I'm the professor. That's Mr. Wonderful, the solo idiot, and the undisputed, undeniable, universal heavyweight champion of the world from Detroit Rock City. And he's spitting up the man juices as we speak. Tommy Wonder saying good night, and we'll see you next time here at the PWR podcast at the HAMIN Media Group at podbean.com. Peace.
Bang, bang.
You do that? Wrong show, goddammit. I thought you were going to say
That's the sign of things to come next week.
Jesus Christ.